So today I'm going to be showing you guys all the walls that I personally like to use on attacking and defending sides of Haven. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you all so much for 9,000 subscribers. The growth on the channel since I started making Valorant guides has been insane and I truly appreciate it. So something you guys should know about these walls is that they aren't complicated by any means. In fact, it's actually the opposite. Most of these are super simple, but I like to make these anyway because these are walls that I actually use in my games that have allowed me to rank up. They're just super efficient and they're great for securing rounds. But like I said, right now, these walls are simple enough that anyone seeing this video who has never played Sage can easily implement these walls into their gameplay and secure more wins with them. So first up here for attacking side B, this is one of the most common executes on this map. However, this wall is absolutely instrumental to making sure it goes smoothly. And all you want to do is pull out your wall, press your wall bind again to rotate it once, and place it along the side here. Now what this wall does is, as you can see, it blocks off 1/2 of B site. So when you're entering into B site, all you have to do is be looking at the opposite side. Now obviously you can do this to either side, however I personally think blocking off the A link is more important because, as you can see, if you are walking up to the front of B site here, there is a much longer line of sight to A link than there is to C link. Another thing about this wall is that you can actually place it from about this box back here. You just have to be aiming above the box on the site right here. As you can see, perfectly placed, no gaps or anything to worry about, and this is a pretty safe place to be placing the wall. Another reason that makes this wall great is because obviously this whole right side here is safe unless the wall is getting broken. So you can easily walk up to this spot right here, plant the bomb, and have one of your teammates playing this back window here with a perfect line of sight to the bomb where the enemies would have to be completely in the open to defuse. And anyone playing this window here can easily peek and shoot like this to stall the defuse. So next up for A site, this is the wall that I probably use the most on attacking side on this map, and the reason for that is because it is one of the best walls that just slows down the rotate from the defenders to try and retake the site. And this wall is super simple. Again, all you want to do is once you get to the top of ramp right here, you can aim in this window, pull out your wall, and place it. And as you can see, it completely blocks off heaven, which means all you have left to worry about is the retake from connector here. Now obviously it's pretty common that someone will be going heaven regardless, but this wall is great at slowing them down because if the wall is freshly placed, it takes an entire clip to break it and get through. And normally by that time, you have full control of the site. So that is the wall I find I use most common on this site because I most often am coming up A long. However, if you are coming up A short, an alternative is to place a wall from along this box right here and block off the connector. This time, you only have to worry about heaven. I wouldn't necessarily say one of these walls is better than the other. However, I personally find the most success placing a wall at heaven because normally only one person retakes from heaven anyway, so it takes even longer for the wall to get broken. And obviously from right here, it's pretty common that the defenders will be rotating from B or spawn to come to this area and spray the wall down. So finally for C, there's not very many walls that actually make executing C site easier. However, if you want, you can get into garage here and place a wall into garage window. All you have to do is be aiming into the window, so super simple, hard to mess up. Now, I've seen a lot of people use this wall, and I definitely don't think it's a bad wall by any means. However, in my personal experience, whenever you have a team doing a C split and you take control of garage, normally you'll have people trading the kill on the guy in garage. And once you get the kill in garage, it's pretty common for one of your attacking teammates to be in here as well for more control of C, being able to slow down the rotation and the retake. But it's definitely a viable option if you are rushing through garage and just trying to push to site. Now, I personally almost always go long C as Sage because you can easily throw your slows into either behind plat here or into CT connector here. But regardless, once you get to site, this is the wall that I always use to secure C site executes. And all you want to do is once you get to around this part of site, you can easily aim it towards the defender connector and place a wall right here that completely blocks the retake from that entrance. And as you can see from the defender's perspective, what they'll be trying to retake from, they can't see anything, and the only option is to completely spray down the wall. So like I said, these walls are super simple, and that's the idea with guides like this. I want someone who has never played Sage to be able to see one of these videos, keep these walls in mind, and be able to easily implement it into their games to secure more rounds. So moving on to defending side walls, first up we have B site, my personal favorite site to play as Sage on defense. And the reason for that is obvious. There's only one entrance into the site, which can easily be covered by a wall or a slow orb, which can easily stall attackers for 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how long they take to break the wall and if they're waiting out the slows or not. So first up for B site, we have these two boosts at back site, and these have become more common, so I don't use them too often. However, it's obviously fine to throw them in once or twice a game because it's still not something that people can easily expect or clear every single round. But yeah, these boosts are super simple. Once you're behind B site on this little platform here, just pull out your wall, rotate it once, and you have a perfect angle to see mid window. Now you can see the enemy's basically upper body and head, but they can only see your head from this angle, which is great. It's a perfect boost that gives the advantage to the people playing behind B site on the Sage wall. And the alternative to that wall is simply behind the site right here, like this. Gives you a little bit more of a view of the enemies, but it's still basically just a headshot angle for them. This wall also allows you to crouch jump onto the site here, and also allows you to jump over here because of that. Obviously playing up here isn't something I would exactly recommend, but I actually have seen people do this in my games. But like I said, main reason you would probably use that wall is to get up here. So finally for B site, this is my favorite wall for this site because it is both a boost as well as it completely blocks off the entryway and slows down the attackers. So what I like to do is wait 15 to 20 seconds into the round, pull out your wall, and you can just place it right here to completely fill the gap. And make sure you place it close enough to this set of boxes here because you can easily boost onto them. You can easily clear this close corner here. You can clear a headshot box. You can even start clearing window if you want. But I will say it's become pretty common for people to pre-fire this boost. So it's definitely not something I would do as soon as I place the wall because that's when it's most expected. But right before the wall's about to break, if you want to try and get some information, you can easily swing. Most of the time, if I'm using this wall to boost, I'm playing in this corner right here because it allows me to easily peek this one angle alone. So next up for defending A site, there's basically only two walls that I use here. And it's not very often that I even play A site as Sage because I think Sage is great at solo holding B site. But when I am playing A site, this is the most common wall that I use. Basically just place a wall right here to fill this gap and boost onto these boxes. As you can see, it gives you a great angle to peek into lower sewers. And if you want, you can even come over to this side and peek bottom of long. However, when I use this boost, I normally just sit on top of this wall here and use it to peek into sewers. Once again, I would be using this wall if I know that they are rushing A or if the enemies have been playing towards A a lot because it completely blocks off the entrance from short A. So the other wall that I like for playing A is actually a nice little pixel angle you can make using this ramp right here. And just like the ones on Split, you want to pull out your wall, rotate it once, and leave a little corner open at the top of the ramp. And place the wall. And as you can see, there's a nice gap to peek through to bottom of long. As you can see, it has a great line of sight to the orb here. So I would recommend using this wall, especially if you know the enemies are getting aggressive for this orb control. Now from the enemy's perspective, there is a gap if they get close and start crouch walking up. But in order to get that close, they would have had to have been in your line of sight for a good amount of time already. So finally for C site, there's not too many walls that I use, and once again, C site isn't normally where I am playing on this map. But regardless, for Garage, this is the wall that I like to use to completely slow down the attackers. And what I like to do is stand behind the spawn barrier here, as close as I can to these double doors here, and as soon as the spawn barrier goes down, pull out my wall, rotate it once, and place it between the doors like this. Now it's important to be placing it that way specifically because, as you can see, if the enemies want to get through, they have to break 2 pieces of the wall instead of just 1. And that wall is great for preventing rushes if you know the enemy is ecoed, or just in general for maintaining garage control. And just like on a site, the other wall is obvious. It's for the gap here at long C. And when I use this wall, I will generally place it under my feet like this and sit on top of the box here. Using the wall as cover, you can peek it like this. And anyone who might be even coming up long C despite this wall, I highly doubt they will be clearing an angle like this. So guys, those are all the walls that I like to use on Haven. If you want to see more Valorant guides like this, then consider hitting that subscribe button.